Hey guys, Thetcglover here. I haven't made a video in a week, but that's because of university stuff, and if you can see by my background here, I'm actually back at home now, not back in my dorm, so, you know, having to move around and stuff like that means that I've been a little bit busy, so, yeah. Anyway, talking about a couple of archetypes today that are coming out in Judgment of the Light. We're going to have the War Gods, and we're going to have the Archfiend new support stuff that, obviously, Archfiend has been around for bloody years, but, you know, we might as well just talk about the new stuff anyway. So yeah, War Gods, they're quite cool actually. I mean, I think they're quite cool. I played against them a few times on Dev Pro, and they're actually quite interesting. Intuitive, you know, innovative archetype, but I feel like it's not quite there yet. But anyway, we've got War God Yamato, which will have somewhere on the screen along with all the other cards that we're talking about today. During your phase, you can add a War God card to your hand, and then you can send one card from your hand to the grave. So it doesn't have to be a War God. You can only control one of them though, and it's an 1800 level 4 Beast Warrior Light. That's pretty cool. So the whole deck revolves around basically this guy. You add cards to your hand and you send to the grave, and then when they're in the grave, while you control a War God, you can actually remove them from the game to do stuff to your opponent and things like that. But the two cards that they use at the moment to in the graveyard to banish is going to be War God Vessel Murakumo, which is a big kind of horse monster thing, and he has a big giant sword for a face. I don't know why, but if you control a War God Beast Warrior type, you can banish this card from your graveyard to target one face-up card your opponent controls, destroy that target. By the sounds of it, it is only usable on your turn, but that's pretty cool. I don't mind that. It's 1600 on its own, but obviously you're going to send to the graveyard with Yamato, so you can just destroy stuff. When I was playing on Dev Pro actually, it was actually during either player's turn, so if you attacked and then you could use this to stop your monster, or if you start to make plays, they can actually kill you whenever they feel like it. So if this is actually just an ignition effect, then it's still good, it's just not as good. Another one is War God Vessel Hetsuka. During either player's turn, when a face-up War God monster you control is targeted by a card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard to negate that effect. It doesn't destroy, but it does negate. So during either player's turn, they do something, they target with Forbidden Lance, they can stop it. They target with enemy controller, they can stop it. They can target with a monster effect, you know, something like Lightning Chidori, you can stop that. So that's bloody good as well. And they've got a really cool card actually, War God Vessel Habakiri, which sounds a bit like Harakiri, which is kind of weird because it's actually helpful but not trying to kill yourself, so weird. But anyway, during damage calculation, when a War God Beast Warrior type monster you control battles an opponent's monster, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. The original attack of your Bastion monster is doubled during damage calculation. So you attack into Yamato with the intention of killing it, and they drop this card and it becomes a 3600 attacker for that damage calculation. Obviously, personally I feel like Honest is better, even though you would probably run both of these because Habakiri can be added to by Yamato. Then you can send the other two to the graveyard, so you actually set your hand up really easily. So now we're going to have War God Emperor Susano, or Susanoo, or it's a really weird name, but it'll probably be something else in the TCG anyway. So it requires two level 4 War Gods. There's no real efficient way to get 2 War Gods on the field at once yet. I mean, there is Tensu, but, you know, still. This card can attack every monster your opponent controls once. Once per turn, you can attach one Exceeds material from this card to add one War God monster from your deck to your hand, or send one War God monster from your deck to the graveyard. You can only control one face-up War God Emperor Susano. So while you can only control one of them, while it's on the field you get 2 cool effects. You know, you can add Yamato to your hand and start setting up plays, or you can just keep dumping stuff, the other 2 vessels, you know, the Murakumo and Hetsuka, and that's pretty cool. You know, I mean, you can set your field up, you can attack every monster your opponent controls once, so you drop Honest when you attack, and then you can just keep dealing like some ridiculous retarded amount of damage. So you attack into BLS, use the effect, oh no, they've got a face-up attack position Spirit Reaper or something, attack that. Why not? You know, just you know, so you can do a hell of a lot of damage with this card, and it sets up your hand for plays on the next turn, just in case it doesn't quite go through. So that's a really cool card. And the actual archetype itself, I feel like right now it's only really consistent because of Tenki. And Tenki obviously in Fire Fist is absolutely retarded. We combined it with Bear, it's dumb. But the thing is, once Konami starts supporting multiple archetypes and they start all relying on the same card, then you know that when they hit that card, they're doing it because they know that they can hit multiple different archetypes at one time. So let's say that War Gods in the set after Judgment of the Light get really retarded, then pretty much, you know, say goodbye to so many different archetypes at once. So, you know, Konami is smart like that. They make a nice support card for many different types, and, you know, stuff like Honest and things like that, and then they start nullifying it a little bit, and then every deck suffers just a little bit. Okay, so that's War Gods in general. Obviously they will get more support, but anyway, let's move on. So we got Archfiend and the 3 support cards which I feel are relevant to talk about. There's a few more in the set, but there's only 3 really worth mentioning right now. Archfiend Cavalry, 1900 attack, Fiend level 4, they're all Fiends, you know, Dark and Fiends. If this card in the field is destroyed by card effect sent to the graveyard, you can target one Archfiend monster in your graveyard except Archfiend Cavalry and special summon that target. So you can special summon the level 8, which I'm not mentioning because I don't really like it, and you can special Archfiend Empress. The next one is Trick Archfiend. It looks a lot like Archfiend Empress when it was a kid. So, you know, 1000 attack, level 3 Fiend, tall guy target. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect or being destroyed by battle, you can add one Archfiend card from your deck to your hand except Trick Archfiend. You can only use the effect of Trick Archfiend once per turn. Okay, so what this means basically is that you can summon it with Tour Guide, you can put it in defense mode, it gets destroyed, you can add Archfiend Cavalry to your hand. You can add whatever the hell you want really, as long as it's an Archfiend card. You can even use it in Infernity if you wanted to. And also, if it's used as an Xyz material and it's sent to the graveyard when it was a material, then it gets its effect. However, it doesn't get its effect if it's detached as part of a cost. So if you go Tour Guide into Leviathan Dragon and then you detach Trick Archfiend, it doesn't get its effect. However, if they attack into Zen means and then you detach Trick Archfiend, you get its effect. I don't mind that at all. That's really, really good. Anyway, the last card I want to talk about is Archfiend Palace, the Labyrinth of Fiends. It kind of makes the whole set, the whole archetype come together a little bit now. I mean, there was Pandemonium, but I think this one is a bit better, a bit more stuff going for it. Anyway, Fiend type monsters you control gain 500 attacks. So from that, Archfiend Cavalry becomes a 2400 normal summon, which is really awesome. You can target one Archfiend monster you control, banish one Fiend type monster you control except that target, then special summon one Archfiend monster with the same level as that target from your hand, deck, or graveyard. You can use the effect of Archfiend Palace 11 for Fiends once per turn. So it's really quite a lot to understand, but basically what it means is that you can use Tour Guide, summon Trick Archfiend, activate the effect of the field spell, banish Tour Guide, because you do have a Trick Archfiend on the field, and then you can special summon an Archfiend monster with the same level from your hand, deck, or grave. So you can summon 2 Trick Archfiends. You can summon a Trick Archfiend and you can do some stuff with that, you know. That's great, because then when you destroy it with Dark Cold or something, you get to add loads of cards to your hand. It's really interesting. Obviously there's more stuff like that, but it does require you to have 2 months on the field. But I just feel like the attack boost right now is really, really helpful. It makes the, you know, helps to get over a lot of things. So you know, think about the amount of Fiend types there are in this game. You know, even Dark Worlds would benefit, because they obviously have their own field spell, but it's still a really good card. So there could be like some kind of hybrid crossover or something like that. So yeah, anyway, that's the cards I want to talk about today. Comment down below how you feel about the different cards. They're really cool, kind of not completely complete yet, so we're not really sure how it's going to play out once we get all the information from the set. Make sure to like, share, and definitely subscribe if you have subscribed recently. You've been great. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, the TCG Lover is out.